Good day, everyone. Today we will be discussing all about proportion. Now, let's try to identify what do we mean by a proportion. When we say proportion, if the two ratios are equal, they are considered as proportion. Now, how can we identify whether the two ratios are equal or proportion? Now, we can say that the two ratios are equal or proportion if the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. Let's have the example here. 2 is to 5 and 6 is to 15. Now, the numbers that are found inside here, inside, are what we called means. And the numbers that are found outside, outside, are what we called extremes. Now let's try to find out if their products are equal. 5 times 6, that gives us 30. 2 times 15, that gives us 30 also. So therefore, 30 is equal to 30. So we can say that the two ratios here are proportion. Okay, that's good. Now, let's try to have these problems here. Let's try to identify which of these pairs of ratios are proportion. Let's have this example number 1. We will just call example, not problem really. Okay, example number 1. 2 is to 4 is equal to 4 is to 8. Again, we need to identify whether the means and extremes are equal. Their products are equal. 4 times 4, that is 16. And 2 times 8, that is also 16. So we can say that 2 is to 4 and 4 is to 8 are equal. They are proportion. Okay, let's have the second example. 5 times 2, that gives us 10. 10 times 1, that gives us 10 also. So 10 is equal to 10. So therefore, these two ratios here are equal or proportion. Now let's have the third example. Are the two ratios here proportion? Let's try to see. 2 times 4 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. 8 is not equal to 18. So therefore, 6 is to 2 is not equal to 4 is to 3. Therefore, they are not proportion. NP, not proportion. Okay, so again, we can only say that the two ratios are proportion if the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. Like that. So they are considered proportion. Okay, now let's try to find out how can we find the missing term in the proportion. For example, 1 is to 4 is equal to 4 is to blank. Okay, this is the missing number here. Okay, so we can find the missing term in the proportion by identifying which terms are complete. Are the terms complete here in the means or in the extremes? So in this case, the terms in the means or the numbers in the means are complete. So therefore, we can multiply that. So 4 times 4, that gives us 16. And after that one, whatever the product, you need to divide that one by the remaining number. And the remaining number here is 1. So 16 divided by 1, that gives us 16. Okay, so therefore, the missing number here is 16. Okay, let's check if the product of the means and the product of the extremes are equal. 4 times 4, 16. 1 times 16, 16. So therefore, our answer is correct. Now let's try to have another example. Can we have this one? 5 is to 5. Blank is to 5 is equal to 9 is to 15. So again, we need to identify which terms are complete. And the complete terms here are in the means. 5 times 9, that gives us 45. Okay, again, whatever the product, you have to divide that one by the remaining number. And the remaining number here is 15. So we can have 45 divided by 15. That gives us 3. 3 times 15, that is 45. Okay, so therefore the answer is 3. Let's check whether this answer is correct by multiplying. 3 times 15, the answer is 45. And 45 in the means, or the product of the means, the same with the product of the extremes, which is 45. Therefore, the missing number is 3, and that is correct. Okay, good job. Now let's try to have the last example. Okay, 12 is to 20 is equal to blank is to 10. Now in this case, the terms that are complete are in the extremes, or the numbers outside. So 12 times 10, that is 120. Then after that one, divided by the remaining number, which is 20. So 120 divided by 20, of course, the answer is 6. 6 times 20, 120. And that is x. Okay, so therefore, the missing term here is 6. Let's try to check if the answer is correct. 12, the extremes here, or the numbers in the extremes, are 12 and 10. So 12 times 10, that gives us 120. That's correct. Now, how about the numbers in the means? 20 times 6, what is the answer? And that is also 120. So therefore, our answer, or the missing term, which is 6, and that is correct. So I hope you learned something for today, and I hope you keep on watching the video so that you can really understand the concept of proportion. So thank you for listening, and have a nice day, everyone. God bless.